God says, an affair meant to happen in your life. They are approaching on Sunday. The words echoed in Sarah's mind as she sat in the dimly lit cafe, sipping her coffee and staring blankly at the bustling street outside. She couldn't shake off the feeling of unease that had settled in her chest ever since she heard those words from the mysterious fortune teller on the street corner. It was a chance encounter, a moment of curiosity that led her to stop and listen to the old woman's predictions. But now, as Sunday approached, Sarah couldn't help but wonder what was in store for her. She had always been a skeptic when it came to matters of fate and destiny. Raised in a household where science and logic reigned supreme, she had scoffed at the idea of a higher power controlling her life. But there was something about the fortune teller's words that struck a chord within her, something that made her question her beliefs and consider the possibility that maybe, just maybe, there was a plan for her after all. As Sunday dawned, Sarah found herself restless and anxious, unable to shake off the feeling of anticipation that hung in the air. She went about her day as usual, running errands and meeting friends for lunch, but all the while, her mind kept drifting back to the encounter with the fortune teller. What did she mean by an affair meant to happen? Was it a romantic affair, a professional opportunity, or something else entirely? The hours ticked by slowly, each minute feeling like an eternity as Sarah waited for whatever was supposed to happen. Finally, as the sun began to set and the sky turned shades of pink and orange, Sarah found herself back at the cafe where it all began. She sat at the same table, nursing her coffee as she waited for something. And then, just as she was about to give up hope, she saw him. He walked into the cafe with an air of confidence, his eyes scanning the room until they landed on her. Sarah's heart skipped a beat as she recognized him from her past, a fleeting acquaintance she had met at a party years ago. She hadn't seen or spoken to him since, but now, as he approached her table with a smile on his face, she knew that this was the affair meant to happen. "Sarah, right," he said, his voice smooth and charming. "Mind if I join you?" Sarah hesitated for a moment, her mind racing with uncertainty. But then she remembered the fortune teller's words and the feeling of destiny that had stirred within her. With a smile of her own, she nodded and gestured for him to take a seat. As they began to chat, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement building within her. There was something about this man, something familiar yet unknown, that drew her in and made her want to learn more. As they talked and laughed into the night, she realized that this was the affair meant to happen, not just a chance encounter, but a turning point in her life that would lead her down a path she never could have imagined. In the days and weeks that followed, Sarah's relationship with the mysterious man blossomed into something beautiful and unexpected. They explored the city together, trying new restaurants and visiting hidden gems they never knew existed. They talked for hours on end, sharing their hopes, dreams, and fears in a way that felt natural and effortless. But amidst the joy and excitement of their newfound connection, Sarah couldn't shake off the nagging feeling of doubt that lingered in the back of her mind. Was this the affair meant to happen, or was she just fooling herself into believing in something that wasn't real? She knew that she had to confront her fears head-on if she ever hoped to find the answers she was searching for. One evening, as they sat together on a quiet rooftop overlooking the city skyline, Sarah mustered up the courage to broach the subject that had been weighing heavily on her heart. "Can I ask you something?" she said, her voice trembling slightly. "Of course," he replied, turning to look at her with concern in his eyes. "Do you believe in fate? In destiny?" Sarah asked, her words hanging in the air between them. The man paused for a moment as if considering his answer carefully. Then, with a soft smile, he reached out and took her hand in his. "I believe that sometimes, the universe has a way of bringing people together for a reason," he said, his gaze unwavering. "And I believe that you and I were meant to meet, Sarah. Call it fate, call it destiny, whatever you want to call it. But I know that I'm grateful for every moment we've shared, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world." Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes as she listened to his words, feeling a sense of peace wash over her like a warm embrace. At that moment, she knew that she had found the answers she had been searching for, not in the words of a fortune teller or the twists and turns of fate, but in the simple yet profound connection she shared with this man. As they watched the city lights twinkle in the distance, Sarah felt a sense of gratitude fill her heart, knowing that she had been allowed to experience a love that was truly meant to happen. As they leaned in to share a kiss beneath the starlit sky, she whispered a silent thank you to the universe for guiding her down this unexpected but beautiful path. Their relationship blossomed over the following months, deepening with each passing day. Sarah and her mysterious companion shared adventures, laughter, and quiet moments of intimacy that filled their lives with joy and meaning. They supported each other through their ups and downs, navigating challenges and celebrating victories together as they forged a bond that seemed unbreakable. But as their love story unfolded, Sarah couldn't shake off the feeling of trepidation that lingered in the depths of her soul. She had always been one to question things, to analyze and dissect every aspect of her life in search of understanding. And now, as she found herself swept up in the whirlwind romance of her affair meant to happen, she couldn't help but wonder if there was more to the story than met the eye. It was during a weekend getaway to a secluded cabin in the woods that Sarah's doubts finally came to a head. As they sat by the crackling fire, sipping wine and basking in the warmth of each other's presence, Sarah felt a knot form in her stomach as she struggled to find the right words to express her inner turmoil. "Can I ask you something?" she began, her voice barely above a whisper. "Of course," he replied, his gaze soft and attentive as he turned to face her. "Do you ever wonder about us? About our relationship and how we ended up here?" Sarah asked, her words stumbling over themselves in her eagerness to convey her thoughts. The man furrowed his brow, his expression thoughtful as he considered her question. Then, with a sigh, he reached out and took her hand in his, squeezing it gently as if to reassure her. "I think about it all the time," he admitted, his voice quiet yet resolute. "But not in the way you might think. I don't dwell on the hows and whys of our connection, Sarah. I simply cherish the moments we share, grateful for the love and happiness that fills my heart whenever I'm with you."